Poison damage in Darkwood appears to be inconsistent. Sometimes stepping on 4 mushrooms is enough to kill my character at full health, but sometimes I'm still alive after stepping on 5 mushrooms. So I've decided to look into the maths behind poison damage, and here's what I found. There are 4 things that deal poison damage in Darkwood: mushrooms, infected corpses, vines, and the infection, also known as worms. The infection is a little bit different from the rest, so we'll talk about it later. Every type of mushroom deals the exact same amount of damage. When you step on a mushroom, you take 5 damage that is not poison damage. Even with the poison immunity from the antidote or the rubber boots, you always take the initial 5 points of damage. The actual poison effect lasts for about 20 seconds. It doesn't damage you for the first second, then it deals 0.7 damage per second for a total of 13.3 poison damage. You can also get poisoned from stepping on or interacting with an infected corpse. The effect lasts for about 30 seconds. It doesn't damage you for the first second, then it deals 1.2 damage per second for a total of 34.8 poison damage. In the swamp, there are vines that can grab and poison the player. Their effect lasts about 15 seconds. It doesn't damage you for the first second, then it deals 2 damage every 3/4 of a second for a total of 38 damage. But the maths really get interesting and confusing when there are several poison effects active at the same time. As it turns out, they all share the same timer. So if you step on a mushroom and wait 10 seconds, then step on another mushroom, the poison effect of the first one will be active not for 20 seconds, but for a full 30 seconds, because its timer was reset when you stepped on the second mushroom. Let's take a look at the actual numbers. If you step on 2 mushrooms, the total poison damage you take after you step on the second mushroom is 27.3. For some reason, the first poison effect deals 14 damage and not just 13.3. If you step on 3 mushrooms, the total poison damage you take after stepping on the third mushroom is 41.3. It is possible to take the full 13.3 poison damage from one mushroom, and while the effect is still active, step on a second mushroom and then take 27.3 damage from the 2 poison effects combined, which means the maximum damage you can take from 2 mushrooms is 50.6, which is over 38% more than the minimum damage. If we do the same with 3 mushrooms, it's possible to take 13.3 poison damage, then 27.3 and then 41.3 damage for a maximum damage of 96.9, which is 76% more than the minimum damage. So you can see how, depending on your timing, it's possible to get wildly different amounts of poison damage from the same number of poison effects.
But I'm not done yet!
Not only do poison effects share the same value for their timer, they also share the same damage parameter. So if you step on a mushroom after stepping on a corpse, the 30 seconds timer from the corpse becomes a 20-second timer, and its damage over time becomes the same as the mushroom. The total damage is 32.3, which is slightly less than the damage you would take from just the one corpse. Of course, this also works the opposite way. If you step on a mushroom and then on a corpse, you will be taking a minimum of 75.8 damage. It seems the game keeps track of how many poison effects are active at any time, but the duration and damage value of these effects is determined purely by the last thing that inflicted the poison. The negative skill Vulnerable to Poison simply multiplies all the poison damage by 1.3. It does not affect the initial 5 points of damage you take from stepping on a mushroom, and it does not affect the infection. The damaging effect of the infection is actually separate from the poison effect. Although it has the same icon, it does not have a description, and its damage is not modified by any other active poison effect. You can use an antidote or the rubber boots to nullify the damage from the infection, although walking on the infection with the boots on will wear them down quite quickly. It has the highest damage of the time, at about 4 points of damage every half second. There are 2 healing items that also completely stops any active poison effect, and those are the healing pill and the embryo. And one last thing, if you try using an antidote while carrying the rubber boots in your inventory, you might notice some funky stuff happening. Yeah, it's broken. Looks like the rubber boots and the antidote's behaviors are conflicting with each other somehow. It's a pretty specific glitch, but I thought it was worth mentioning. That's all I have to say about poison damage. I tried to be as clear and exhaustive as I could, but if you noticed anything I missed, please let me know in the comments. Alright, bye, love.